Hi Aquarius, I hope that everybody's doing well. So when I was meditating on the energy and I was pre-shuffling for you guys, what I was seeing is that you're getting, maybe experiencing some type of epiphany, maybe even getting clarity on a direction that you want to be going in, but you're also recognizing that in order to pursue something that you want to pursue, there's also something that you're going to need to let go of as well. Is what I was getting. So maybe we're even getting to that point of recognizing what it is that we need to release in order to pursue something that we want to pursue, or know that you're gonna have to leave something behind if you want to go in a particular direction. Definitely a type of transition that we're moving through right now. Before we get into it, I would like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. So I'm seeing this be concerned with your self-care. Like, I'm seeing this be a type of decision that you're making that is going to better your life in some type of way, maybe the ways that you're doing things, and definitely some stuff that we're clearing out, stuff that we're letting go of. Maybe you were also feeling stuck. Maybe you were reliving some experiences that you had, and maybe you needed to process through something, and now you're getting to the point where you're like, I'm just ready for something new. I was really feeling that within the energy. Yeah, there's definitely an energy of looking back at things and, ooh, I'm hearing commemorating. Okay. So maybe something that we want to be acknowledging, but I'm getting that there comes a point in time where you're actually ready to just let go, but maybe it was something that needed to be acknowledged. I'm hearing within the time frame that it happened, within the era that it happened. I'm seeing this as being something from the past that you're letting go of, maybe getting to the point where you feel more comfortable, like actually releasing this, like you feel like you had your feelings about it, you've processed it, you're ready to let go, something like that. We're starting off with the 5 of Cups here. And maybe we're also recounting in a way where we're understanding maybe where we want to go from here. And maybe some process as well of learning from a past experience, maybe multiple experiences, to better give you direction of where you want to go now. But you may not know where that is exactly. I'm looking at the moon and the sun on the bottom of the deck. Definitely some shadow work, subconscious things that you're working through right now. I'm definitely seeing this as being necessary. I'm hearing the shadow of past lives. Maybe some of you guys are doing past life regression, some type of work like that, looking into astrology, your birth chart. Yeah, and then letting go of something. I'm seeing us at the end of a phase here. I'm also hearing something about the moon cycle. It's interesting. I'm seeing work that you're doing at night. But maybe this is a metaphor for something. There's a sense of maybe even at times it feeling overwhelming, the work that you're doing. I'm seeing this be all related to personal work that you're doing for yourself to work through something, and then getting to the point where it's kind of been completed and it felt a bit hectic to work through. I'm getting there almost be a sense of weariness as well when it came to something that you had experienced. But I'm seeing there be wisdom in this experience that you went through, kind of like you know what to do now if you were faced with a decision like that, or you know how to not get into like the same type of situation, something along those lines. You may have also been in a situation where you felt like you kept giving to something or someone, and you didn't feel like there was an equal balance or an equal dynamic within that, meaning the give and take. There was something that just felt off about it, and maybe now you're coming into your own in a way where you're feeling more comfortable advocating for yourself. And maybe also recognizing your boundaries too, so you're not put back into a situation, or you don't find yourself within another situation where you feel like you're exceeding what you're willing to give. So maybe getting more familiar with that for yourself. I'm definitely seeing there be wisdom, especially tied to your spirituality, you getting connected as well. I'm hearing a foundation of faith, something that you're clinging more tightly to. For some of you, there are gifts that you're expanding upon that you didn't recognize having, maybe until recently. Maybe this is also something that is being revealed over time that you're becoming more aware of for yourself. I'm looking at the Fountain coming out. In this tarot deck, this is the Fountain Tarot. It has one card that's different from a regular tarot set, and it's the Fountain, and this speaks about the epitome of divinity and us getting connected with that, spirituality. It's like everything divine and magical that we experience. It's very much like on the 5D plane in the astral realm. So it's almost like you've gotten to the end of a cycle with something, and now you may feel like there's a sense of rebalancing overall. And I'm seeing that something that may as well be reinforcing your sense of spirituality. There could have also been people or someone, experiences that you were having where you were feeling overwhelmed because tensions were rising high is what I'm hearing. Like maybe you weren't getting along with certain people and now you're trying to work things out as well. And maybe you're also understanding who's going to be supporting you as you're stepping into this, I'm hearing, new moment for yourself. Yeah, maybe at one time you were having a hard time kind of seeing who was supporting you, or maybe there was even a difference of opinion when it came to certain things, certain beliefs that you had. And now I'm almost seeing it be like maybe even people that you were having disagreements with. I'm seeing like you somehow elevating because of this experience that you're having. It's almost like experiencing some sort of diversity that you've been moving through, and that making you stronger. Okay. I'm hearing quandary. There's something that needs to be decided upon. I'm seeing that the more you're going within subconsciously, the more you're bringing things to your conscious awareness, the more you're getting in touch with spirit, with your guides, with your gifts and abilities, things that you've been innately gifted with is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing this have some type of grounding effect on you. And maybe this is all about a decision to make when it comes to how you are going to, I'm hearing, form your energy when it comes to situations that may challenge you somehow, because I'm definitely seeing the essence of some type of challenge, adversity. I'm also hearing diversity. Interesting. something that you're working through. Maybe people are also questioning foundational beliefs that you have, things like that. Maybe this is also something that may feel triggering at times to you. But I'm seeing the stronger your foundation is based within your spirituality, your sense of self, things like that, I'm seeing there be a decision that you make that you're going to move through this experience and ground as much as possible. This is also making the choice to not be reactive when you come into situations that do feel triggering to you. It's about finding that center within you and being able to make decisions within that grounded place, and you know that you're better off for doing this, and you also feel like it is elevating you in a way. I saw 10:44 on the time. So even though this situation may feel a bit overwhelming because there may be some opinions that are differing from yours, I'm seeing you still finding a way to work this out for yourself. And I'm seeing it not just be you. It's almost like as you're continuing to kind of forge your own pathway, I'm seeing that there are people that you're gaining, people that are gathering around you that are also kind of on the same wavelength, like working towards the same thing. And I'm getting that these are strong energies as well that you're gathering. Like all of you guys are very focused on the same mission, creating something similarly. There's something in common that all of you guys are doing, that you guys are working on. I'm hearing at times there will be planning needed. I'm also seeing that there may be particular people, also some type of, I'm hearing interchangeable exchange when it comes to who is leading. It's almost like I'm seeing this vision of a group of people that are working together on some sort of common cause, some sort of common mission, and it's like they all take turns. I'm hearing leading the pack, okay? So it's like each person takes a turn being the leader almost. But it all ends up, all of these people end up working together. Maybe even traveling. You can be traveling with a group of people or doing something like actually physically traveling for some. So what I'm getting is that the challenge here has been about kind of getting everybody to work together in unison, simultaneously on a particular mission, on a particular project. And I'm seeing that kind of be the end of something. Like this was a means to an end when it came to getting everybody to gel and work together. And then I'm seeing there be a type of movement, but there's also a sense of being unsure about where exactly everyone goes from here. It's like, at first it was about collecting the group of people, and now everybody's together, and now people are working together, and now everybody is kind of like exchanging their own ideas within this space, like they're finding a way to get everything moving in the way that it needs to, and now it's like, where do we go from here? So I'm seeing us be in that location now. It's like everybody gets into the car, but we have to figure out where we want to drive to next. Like, where's the next location? And I'm seeing it be like, I'm even seeing like a GPS, and there are different options about where it is that you can be traveling to, but there may be a need for further direction is what I'm getting, something like that. Very interesting. Okay. Maybe this is something collectively going on. I feel like there are a lot of metaphors within this story. You and this group of people, I'm hearing quandary again. There's some type of experience you've had that's brought you guys together. Like, I'm seeing you share some type of experience. I'm just looking at Saturn. I'm looking at Saturn and the moon, actually. which is Pisces energy, and I'm hearing Scorpio, I'm hearing Neptune, I'm also looking at Saturn. Okay. So it's almost like a where to go to next type of energy, but I'm seeing that something has come from the work that you've been doing. So it's like, even though you know that there are more steps to wherever it is that you're going, there's a sense of there being something that's been produced by the way that you've been working with this group of people. I'm hearing collective very strongly. I'm definitely getting this shared experience that you've had with these people be around setting boundaries, definitely around an energy that may have been projecting onto you. Understanding where your energy is, understanding where the energy of the people projecting is as well. And maybe this has been part of the collective mission. I mean, collectively, I think a lot of us are getting a better understanding of how to set boundaries, especially I'm hearing when those circumstances have not been modeled for us. I'm seeing this be very much connected to like light workers, healers, all of that. This can also be recognizing that voice within yourself as well that doesn't feel comfortable advocating. And this is about standing in your power and being in that place where you feel like you're more decisive with the things that you're calling out, the ways that you're setting boundaries, how you're advocating for yourself. And maybe you also have found it easier in the past to advocate for those around you rather than yourself. And this is also a move that you've been making to... I'm hearing act one in the same. It's like to also advocate for yourself and do those things that you would do for other people and include yourself within that. There may even be some type of mentor or somebody you've been working with that's also been some sort of guide for you or modeled some type of behavior. This can be some type of like guardian, co-worker, a role model, something like that. Someone who I'm hearing literate, someone who knows how to communicate and you appreciate the way that they communicate, and someone also that you feel like you can reference maybe when you're creating your own boundaries. I'm hearing as inspiration. Okay. I'm seeing you working together with someone. Like, you could be helping someone, someone could be helping you. Maybe this is a mutual thing that you're doing. I'm seeing somebody come through and message you. There's some type of information. This can be a spirit guide or this can be a person. Nonetheless, I'm seeing some type of energy come through with you and speak to you. And I'm seeing you get clarity on a direction that you want to be going in. And as I said before in the pre-shuffle, it's like You know that there's something that you need to leave behind. I saw 1944 in the time when I looked up. You know that there's something that you need behind, and you know where you want to be going. But first you have to walk away from something. And this can be cycles that aren't resonating with you anymore. This can be habits. This can be cycles that you have with other people. For some of you, this is about expanding study is what I'm hearing. I'm seeing whoever this person is that you're working with, or spirit guide, whatever it is, whatever energy it is that you're working with, frequency. I'm seeing that this being is assisting you with kind of figuring out where in your life. It's almost like editing some things and moving on from some stuff here. And there's a sense of being ready to do this as well, because you get a clear direction. I'm seeing it almost be like whatever message this is that comes through, I'm seeing it ignite something. So you have this moment of clarity, like some type of epiphany, and you're like, that is exactly where we need to go. Interesting, where we need to go, okay? So you know where you're standing and you know where you're going as well now. Very interesting. I'm looking at double eights here. I'm actually looking at 3 8s in a row. I'm looking at the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Coins. I'm seeing something that's being built. It's like, you know which direction you're going in. You know exactly where you want to be going, okay? So it's like you have this destination, this location. You know what you're moving away from as well. And even though it's something that you built, it's something that you feel like you can wipe your hands of and move away from, because it's time and you're recognizing that. And now I'm seeing that, like, when you get to this place, it's like the last piece that needs to get put into place to bring like a whole picture together. And I'm seeing you working with other people here as well. It's like because of the progress that you've made and because of the progress that like this other person or these other people are making, I'm seeing like everybody cumulative being able to come together to, I'm hearing to assimilate the consortment. It's like creating something. It's like everybody has a part in creating something. Whatever is being produced here. I'm hearing Starseed channeling so strongly. I'm seeing your skill level also increase with something that you've been working on. Like I'm hearing avid progress that you've been making. This can also be part of the shedding process as well that you're getting better at. Like maybe getting better at releasing. As we're talking about releasing things, I'm looking at the 6 of Cups here. This is also about releasing past experiences that you've had so you can actually move on from those experiences. It's like rather than focusing on the past and like constantly repeating it and being like, is this something I'm going to experience over and over again? It's about moving on from that and recognizing as well that the wisdom you've gained throughout those experiences that you've had, throughout those karmic contracts that you've had, that you have now gained an understanding, like you're savvy to certain energies, certain frequencies, experiences, cycles, people, whatever it is that you want to call it. And so as long as you're paying attention, there are things that are not going to be repeating themselves again as you've completed these lessons. So I'm seeing something that we're finally like prepared now to move beyond. And this definitely has to do with something that at one point in time did feel like, I'm hearing felt back. It felt like some sort of setback for you, possibly. But you're understanding maybe even now how it was the catalyst for you to get where you are today is what I'm hearing. I'm almost seeing it like, you know that you're ready to move on, but you may take one more peek backwards at this, and then you're finally ready to move forward. Something like that. Ooh, very interesting. Okay, so I'm seeing somebody actually have some sort of like memory box or something. I don't even know what a memory box is. Maybe like a scrapbook, a photo album, or like maybe even a container that somehow like resonates or elicits like past memories or moments. And I'm seeing someone like collect all of these things and put it in the box and like finally put the lid on it. This is what I'm getting here. It's like you take one more look inside the box and now you're putting the lid on it and you're ready to move forward. And I'm looking at the Page of Wands and I'm looking at the Ace of Coins here. It's like you're ready to start something in a new direction that you're going into. I'm seeing something brand new for you that you're starting. It's like now that you really feel like something has been completed, like an energy that you've moved through, it's finally time to move forward. And I'm seeing something that you're doing. I'm seeing like a sense of fine-tuning that we're doing with gifts, that we're doing with skills, something we've been working on, pieces we've been putting together. I'm hearing in the personal life. For some of you, this can be something that you're doing as well with like a career, something that you've been working on. Maybe even like, I'm hearing straight up personal progress. So personal progress that you've been making. And I'm seeing things start to click, things start to make sense. For some of you, this is definitely a highlight on like your higher abilities is what I'm hearing. Higher abilities. Maybe things connected with your spirituality, your higher senses, things like that. And we're ending here with the Ten of Cups. And it's interesting because we start with the Five of Swords, which I'm getting this as like part of the experience that we've had. And this can be something that holds us back. This can be that voice within us that keeps us stuck in situations that we know are not healthy, things that we have attachments to that we need to let go of. This can be around energies that aren't supporting us. This can be us not showing up for ourselves, not supporting ourselves, not holding space, okay? So I'm seeing it be like that may have been what you started with, or like some monumental experience that you had is what I'm hearing. And I'm seeing us like learn from this experience and kind of tuck that away and be ready to move forward now. And as you transition, it's like, you know where you're going. It's time to release something. And I'm seeing you all the way like move into the Ten of Cups here. So the Ten of Cups is about, I'm hearing peace and tranquility. It's like finding your happy place, finding this space where you feel calm. This is your grounding space. This is focusing on the things that you want to be building, focusing on the present moment, like also where you want to be going, what you're striving towards. This is also finding like union and harmony with those around you, also within like, I'm hearing the structure of nature, maybe also different types of structures as well. It's interesting because we haven't really been seeing any major arcanas pop out yet. So I'm seeing that a lot of this is about like the personal progression of progress I'm hearing that you're making. So a very personal experience that you're moving through. It's interesting though as well because I'm seeing this somehow be related to the collective energy. So I'm definitely getting that this is something that like a lot of us are going through at this point in time. I'm hearing Starseed channeling again. You may have been feeling like you were waiting for something to happen or for something to come through and that it was taking a really long time, but I'm seeing that it wasn't able to come through until you ended certain things. I'm seeing this like very, very blatantly here. It's almost like I'm seeing someone almost like go through a wall, like into maybe a next cycle, like maybe even another dimension, something like that. Like you see how there's this barrier here and this person is like finally making it through. And I'm seeing it prior to that, like there was a whole system. I'm hearing system failure. I'm hearing system ending. It was like something that you needed to get all the way through in order to receive whatever this is. And you could have really been feeling stuck and like, when is this going to come through? Like, when is something going to happen? I don't even know if you were expecting something particular to happen, but it's that moment of being like, I'm waiting for something. I may not know exactly what it is, but I feel like something's coming. I'm getting something like that here. But it took release and it took you moving on, and I'm seeing there be more than one cycle that needed to end. And so maybe if you were feeling that like there was a sense of stagnancy, it was because there were loose ends that needed to be tied up prior to this happening. And this is also a good reminder as well. If you are feeling like you're in a stuck energy, there may be something that needs to be removed, needs to be released, things like that. I'm hearing dispose as well, like maybe some stuff you need to actually throw away. Maybe metaphorically speaking even. Yeah, I'm looking at a karmic test here. I'm seeing. It's like you being patient and waiting for this, and also I'm getting that it was even a karmic test to recognize that in order for like something to happen that you were waiting for, there were things that needed to end first. So it's like when you get that feeling that something is keeping you stuck, or that there are things you need to change, shift, move around like that, this is about taking the initiative and actually doing that. It's about like actually recognizing that you're in a stuck energy and even recognizing why things aren't changing. Like also if you're trying to manifest something and you're like, why isn't this coming through? It's because there are other shifts and things that need to happen as well. Yeah, I'm seeing you finally understand something. It's like you finally get clarity on something that you were trying to see. I'm seeing this be related to a karmic test here. I'm looking at the Ace of Swords next to the Nine of Wands. Yeah, you may have even recognized as well, like, I'm hearing cheat code. You may have been trying to move away from things, or maybe like half-heartedly ending things, but you knew that there were definitely cycles that needed to be cleared out, things that you needed to change, and you could have been like trying to rush through it, and that's why something wasn't coming through yet. You're like, I'm waiting, but it's not here yet. But it was because there was still work that needed to be done. And you may even have recognized as well that you weren't like fully committing to what it was that needed to come to an end. I'm seeing like multiple cycles. I'm seeing habits. I'm seeing things like that. I'm hearing renunciation so strongly. So I was just reading actually about renunciation. Renunciation of attachment. It's like really being able to let go of things. So the example that I got was about, okay, so say you've tried to release someone, okay? And you're like, why isn't someone new coming into my life? I let go of this person. Like, this is just an example, okay? But it's like at night before you go to bed, you're like, I wonder what this person is doing, and I wonder what their life is like now, and I wonder what's going on with them, and if they're seeing anyone, and things like that. And when we catch ourselves doing that, we have to bring ourselves back into the moment to be within that moment, be present, be centered, be grounded, and we have to let go of that. That can even be worrying about other people, like, what's my mom doing right now? Like, what's my cat doing right now? Like, all of these thoughts that we have, this is about letting go of those things and sitting with yourself in the moment. Because when you're allowing your mind to stray energetically, like, you are still going to other places, like, you are not actually being in the moment. And so there's still attachments that your energy is connected to. So this is about out. Like, even if physically you are making changes, like you're not seeing someone anymore, or you're not talking to that group of people, this is about not checking up on that group of people. It's about like thought stopping when you feel like your mind is traveling into those places. Because even though it may seem figurative, like your brain is going there, like energetically you are creating a connection, a pathway, an avenue. So this is about letting that go completely. So it's not just physically clearing things out, it's also energetically clearing things out. And the ways that we do this are mentally, like just as much as mentally you can drift, this is about mentally stopping yourself. So I'm seeing some stuff like that as well that's been going on, and that is about renunciation of attachments that we have. Because even if you're not like physically with that person, like mentally you are, and so it is still happening, but on another plane. And it's about catching yourself in those moments and bringing your thoughts back to a centered, grounded space. And it's more than just your thoughts. It is your energy. It's your energetic field. Yeah, and I'm seeing you successfully do that here. And maybe this was the confirmation that you needed, or some type of awareness that you needed. And it's like, now finally something can come through for you. And maybe you were also still experiencing a type of energy. It's like, I don't want to be approached by the Knight of Wands anymore. Yet the Knight of Wands kept repeatedly coming through to you in different forms. And now it's like, you get the Knight of Pentacles now to come through for you. And this can be a person. This can be an era of your life that you want to be stepping into. This can be a new cycle for you. This can be something that you've been waiting to happen. But I'm seeing that because you finally like completed some sort of cycle, like something that was part of a karmic test for you that you needed to do and needed to fully commit to. I'm seeing because you had done this, I'm looking at the Six of Wands here. I'm seeing something that you have successfully done, like something you have victory with. This was something that took patience. This was something that took like a sense of stability when it comes to, I'm hearing energetic work that you're doing. And I'm seeing you passing a karmic test here. So it's like, these are not just karmic tests that we are experiencing. When we get to an elevated level, the karmic tests that we go through are not just physical 3D karmic tests. They're also spiritual tests. They're also 5D tests that we experience. Astral plane tests that we're going through. So know too that like all of these different things count. It's not just physically what you're doing. That is just the physical manifestation of your body. What your mind is doing is also another manifestation of energy as well. And like where your mind goes to. This is also too, if you feel like you get caught up on social media, like obsessing over celebrities' lives and things like that, or like even people that you don't really know, or like maybe even people that you do know, and things that when you're like, what does this matter in my life? Like, why am I doing this? Is this worth my time to be doing? Is this somehow elevating me? It's about checking yourself in those moments and about bringing yourself back to the present, bringing yourself back to where you are. And this is something as well that helps with anxiety too. When we think about the past and think about the future and I need to do this and that and things that are not centered within the moment where you are, that's where anxiety comes from. And so this is about bringing yourself back to the present, being like, what can I do now? If I can't do something about it right now, it's time for me to let this go and address it at another point in time if it's something that I need to revisit. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is all about healing and clearing the heart chakra. It's like you have to get this cleared so you can see all the way through to where it is you're actually trying to go here. And this is all about clearing that space, I'm telling you. And I'm seeing for sure some type of process where there could have been some like cutting corners, maybe even to a point of not realizing this. And it's like, Now understanding what's needed to heal, now understanding how to get through this karmic test, now understanding how to completely clear your energy out as well to give you a clear vision as well of where you're trying to get to. And it's like, I'm seeing you be so focused here, like you have so much clarity, so much direction. I'm also hearing so much peace. I'm seeing this be like one of the biggest clearing cycles you've experienced, Aquarius. Like, I'm seeing this be so huge for you. I'm also hearing ancestral clearing. Maybe patterns. Yeah. Big patterns that we're moving through. I'm seeing there also be a recognition as well of maybe why we were not letting go of certain things. And I'm seeing because there was still a type of like wounding, there was also a type of attachment as well to certain traumas, experiences. I saw 44 on the time when I looked up, to certain experiences that we've had that we still needed to clear out. And that's also why we weren't letting go. And maybe also recognizing that distracting ourselves sometimes from being in the present was also kind of prolonging us clearing things that needed to be cleared as well. Because I'm seeing like all of these situations that you want to move from, but it was like you were still somehow energetically attached to these situations. But I'm seeing you finally get to a point where it's like you feel like you can move away from this, and not because you're cutting corners, it's because you truly feel like you're healing, like you're clearing out that energy, so you do not need to revisit this. This is also being in a place where it's like, when you look back at the past experiences that you've had, regardless of what they were, this is about being able to meet both yourself and those you've experienced with compassion as well, rather than harboring anything else within those experiences. Because we cannot fully move on. If you are still feeling anything towards the past experiences that you've had, it still has part of your energy. And I'm seeing that this is also part of the clearing process as well. It's like, if you're still mad at so-and-so for crashing your bike and wrecking it when you were 4 years old, you're still giving your energy to that. You know what I mean? So this is about letting go of that and forgiving it, meeting it with compassion. And I'm seeing this so strongly here. It's like, finally you're ready to just like lay it all down so you can walk away from it, rather than continuing to carry and have it just build. Because when we do not let go of things we need to let go of, it's just accumulating, and we are carrying that energetically, and it feels so heavy. And doesn't it feel better to just let go of it? And this is also where illnesses can come from as well, like how illnesses can manifest in the 3D too. Like physical ailments that we experience. Finally, I'm seeing like a type of union that you had maybe even been waiting to experience, that had not been experienced before, and it's like now you can finally get into that place where it's like there's some type of combination now. It's like, rather than seeing as well the like everything in a yin and a yang, like everything in a masculine and a feminine, a good and a bad, it's like rather than seeing all of this dichotomy, it's like seeing the unity come together. And it's like when you have the yin and the yang, rather than them being separate, it's about bringing it together so it's suspended in complete balance and harmony. And I'm seeing something that we're doing here, and this also is about those around us as well, the experiences that we have, what we see, what we gather around us. Like, rather than seeing it be like me versus them, or us versus them, whatever, me versus you, it's about seeing everybody kind of as a reflection of yourself, in a way where it's like, that's another version of me in a way, and like being able to meet that with compassion, being able to forgive yourself, being able to see everything as being unified. Even the energies that feel so different from you, it's about being able again to have compassion And when we meet these experiences with compassion, we see that they are also part of us as well. This does not mean that you need to invite energies that you feel like are harmful to you within your life, but it's about being able, I just saw 44 on the time when I looked up. This is about being able to meet those situations with compassion and being able to let it go, because that is the point of it. It's about not having those strings attached anymore. And I'm seeing this be something so huge, Aquarius. Like, I can't even explain to you like how big this is, what this looks like here, but it's almost like a lifetime of trying to get to this point and like finally understanding what it is that needs to be let go of, and finally being able to like kickstart the direction that you wanted to be going into. And I'm seeing this be like one of the most difficult challenges as well, because it's like we see the Seven of Swords, which I feel like can be similar like in perception to like the Devil card in a way, and it's like being able to see like yourself within that experience, both within like yourself within your body and you within that other person as well, and being able to have compassion and love for those people. So it's like taking kind of the two most opposite cards, because this is about like deceptive behavior. It's about like not wanting to be in the light, not wanting to be in the truth, and we have the Two of Cups here. So it's like bringing everything together, even the things that feel the most opposite to you. It's about being able to see a part of yourself within those things, even when they feel like so completely different from you. This can be about like diversity, adversity, things like that, things where you're like, I would never identify with that person. It's being able to see yourself reflected within that, and so to have compassion for it. And to move on. I'm seeing like the most major clearing that we're doing in the heart space, and I'm looking at the Death card on the bottom of the deck. I'm seeing you like transcend into like such a pure new cycle for yourself here. Yeah, finally time to move on. It was like finally gathering the information, finally understanding what it was that you needed to let go of, what needed to end. Because the Page of Swords can be about gathering information, to supply your progress. And I'm seeing it be connected with the Ace of Swords, and also something that you feel like you were just stuck within and couldn't move out of. And it's like finally now, like you understand what it was that was holding you back, what needed to be ended and cleared out. And I'm seeing you doing that here. And as I said before, it's really interesting because we have not really seen any major arcanas. It was a very minimal amount. And as I said before as well, I'm seeing that this is very much both a solo process that you're moving through, and I'm seeing this also be related on a collective level with like individually what we're going through, but I'm seeing it kind of be like a parallel pathway that we're all moving through right now. And I'm looking at the Four of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which speaks about bringing things into harmony, union. I'm hearing collectively. All right, my friends, we are going to end it here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I'm also hearing thank you for channeling. Thank you for channeling, Aquarius. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.